experience growing up in America. Attending a predominantly white elementary and middle school where I was one of, if not the only person of color, I found it hard to fit in as I experienced many racial stereotypes. The first of which was in second grade. I remember just winning a math competition in my class and being so proud of myself as I recounted the numerous hours I had spent with my dad studying. However, afterwards, a classmate offhandedly said to me, "You know, you're only smart because you're Asian. You just don't have to try as hard as everyone else." At the time, this comment confused me a little bit, and honestly, it made me angry. Were my efforts worth less because of just how I looked? This seemingly inconsequential event led me to reevaluate my identity by asking myself questions like that. This event led me to find out about the model minority myth. At the time, I didn't exactly know what it was called, but the model minority myth is the stereotype that certain minority groups defined by race, ethnicity, or religion have a higher perceived socioeconomic or academic status in comparison to the overall population average. The model minority myth is a pervasive and harmful stereotype because it creates a racial wedge between Asian Americans and other minorities. This myth pits minorities against each other and distracts from the end goal of disrupting the status quo and reducing harm of stereotypes for all people of color. As I grew older, I became more cognizant of the societal stereotypes and standards that were placed on me. When faced with higher expectations in comparison with my non-Asian counterparts, I felt pressured to perform. I needed to be the perfect, smart Asian kid, so others would not sense that I am not worthy of the Asian American title, that I am not their perceived norm. So I'm not in second grade anymore, but I'm still experiencing the very real effects of the model minority myth. Just last week, a classmate questioned if I was worthy to be Asian if I wasn't even good at school. I had just asked the question in my math class. The model minority myth affects most, if not all, Asian American students as it places unattainable standards and pressures on us. It has made me an overthinker, a perfectionist, and most of all, a procrastinator. In school, I feel like I need to do everything, and I need to do everything well. In class assignments, I struggle to begin because I'm scared I won't get it just right. Even this talk has been written and deleted and written again countless times, with its final version being completed just a few hours ago. I come from a family of immigrants which places value on education because that is the way that I will contribute to society. I believed from an early age that I needed to excel in school to be of value to America. In the classroom, I was oftentimes the only person of color, and I acted as a spokesperson for the entire Asian community. And that's a lot of pressure for a 7-year-old kid. Because of this pressure, I was scared of failing because I was worried I wasn't good enough for America. But despite what my 7-year-old me thought, the world did not end when I failed a quiz or even two, and despite that, I am still worthy to be Asian American, and I am still good enough for America. Recently, adversity, I often wonder if it is possible to stay positive. Growing up my entire life surrounded by harmful racial stereotypes, I find it difficult to remain hopeful because the entire context of the entire concept of the United States is built on the foundation of racism and prejudice. I find it difficult at times to find a solution for harmful stereotypes created by an inherently unjust system. I know that I cannot change a system that was created hundreds of years ago, and I know that this talk will not affect the actions of others. However, I can adjust my own mindset when it comes to racial stereotypes. Now let me be clear. It is not any person of color's responsibility to change when they are encountered with racism. However, when I myself changed my mindset when being encountered with racism, I found to have grown more resilient. To prepare for this talk, I have been thinking about how the model minority myth has affected my life. I have realized how it makes me feel like I need to excel in school and excel in extracurriculars and still maintain a busy schedule. And at times that gets pretty overwhelming. So, my solution is to just be silly. In the past year, I have fully embraced the concept of silliness. It's about finding joy in playful, non-productive activities. It's about not worrying so much about what others think. It's about not worrying about failure and not taking myself so seriously. Whether it's signing up for this talk on a whim or indulging in any silly thing just for the sake of it, being silly is a well-needed relief from the pressures of excellence ingrained and demanded by societal stereotypes. Although the capitalist society we live in often dictates a need for efficiency and a drive for endless work, sometimes it's okay to relish in non-productivity and just be a little